So I just got out of a really great session with GwenShapira, who did a talk on Hadoop and using Oracle database and what were the best practices for that. Some of the interesting things that you did in your talk was talk about when is Hadoop a good solution for that problem and when is it not. Can you go over some of those cases?
Yeah, of course. So basically when you decide which data to put in Oracle and which data should move to Hadoop, you want to ask yourself, does Oracle add any value? Because Oracle is a specialized solution, and in some cases it's valuable, and in some cases there is no extra value from doing things specifically in Oracle. So things like video and image processing is something that Oracle doesn't specialize in. You can do it in Hadoop. Large text processing PDFs or Excels, and sometimes even structured data that's structured in a way that doesn't fit what you want in Oracle. So for example, XML or JSON files that can be processed in Oracle but can also be processed outside of Oracle. You can make a value decision. How much value does Oracle give you, and is it worth the effort of doing it in Oracle versus a specialized system?
You mentioned the Oracle loader for Hadoop. Now, getting data out of the Hadoop system to think, you said that sometimes if time is a constraint, you really want to use the Oracle loader, and in some cases you mentioned a 5 times faster. Why is that? So
the open source tools for loading data from Hadoop into a database were not written specifically for Oracle. In fact, because it was written by the open source community, then it was written specifically for MySQL, which is a different database and it has different optimizations. Oracle has a lot of optimizations for data loading. It has direct pass loads, it has compression that you want to take into account, it has partitions, a lot of things that open source databases are not really part of that. So you really want a tool that is aware of what Oracle is doing inside the database. And Oracle connector for Hadoop is it's a very smart tool in the way it does things. So it does all the processing in Hadoop, which means that you are not overloading the already busy CPUs in your Oracle data warehouse. You're using CPUs that tend to be cheaper and free. And you would get the parallelism of scale in pre-processing the data. It prepares the data specifically for Oracle in the right data format. It is aware of your partitions, it is aware of Oracle data types, it is aware of compressions, and it knows that the data should be sorted in order to maximize compression before it is loaded. Only after all this pre-processing is done on the Hadoop side, the data blocks that were prepared in Hadoop are loaded directly into Oracle data files through the direct pass load, which makes it all very optimal in a way that other companies simply can't match because they're not as aware of how internals of Oracle loading works, and they cannot implement the same type of solution. So the result is that no matter how much I try to optimize my data load process, without Oracle connector for Hadoop, I'm always at least 5 times slower. And for some companies it's fine, they don't care, but many companies are very sensitive. They need to have a very fast data loop for their business. They want to get to be able to take actions on the data on an almost real-time basis and day-to-day change what inventories they have in the stores, for example.
So the more important your ETL is to you, the more likely you're going to want to use a tool like that.
Exactly.
Okay. The other thing you mentioned, which I thought was interesting because of the Linux background, was grep and the combination with Hadoop. So you can actually use grep with Hadoop. How does that work?
You can use any Unix tool with Hadoop. That's a nice thing. It's a very flexible interface. So there is the streaming interface, and it means that everything that can accept key values as an input and key values as an output, which is almost everything. I mean, every file you can treat lines, for example, as values. So you can easily write a shell script that does grepping, does WC, does sed, awk, everything you need, and simply run it through the streaming interface. So streaming is a jar, and you run it on Hadoop, and it processes the data in parallel, and you get through the results.
Excellent. Thanks, Gwen.
Thank you.